Family, friends, Commander 2017 has gotten off the rails. You really don't understand. I don't have time to give you a huge big intro because there's too much to talk about. Just real quick, click the first link in the description, enter our worldwide giveaway to win a box of Hour of Devastation. Just subscribe to the channel. That's all you have to do to win the box. Okay, anyways, you better be sitting down for this. Get ready to have your socks knocked off. Holy cracker jacks. Mirror of the Forebears is 2 mana for an artifact. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. You can pay 1 mana and until end of turn, the mirror becomes a copy of target creature you control of the chosen type, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Okay, this is an incredibly strong tribal card. Here's why. First, it has no color identity. 2 mana is cheap to play, and you can activate it for a measly 1 mana. 1 mana? That's so efficient. That means you can use this mirror on your turn, all your opponent's turns, whenever you want, and it shouldn't be a problem. Now, you don't get any of the cool end of the battlefield triggers from anything because the mirror is already on the battlefield, but there are plenty of tribal creatures you can copy that give serious value. How about something simple like a Goblin Warchief or Elvish Archdruid? Make your goblins cheaper and faster and your elves bigger. Want something more impactful? How about Utvara Hellkite or Hellkite Tyrant? Listen, the power in this card is that you can activate it at instant speed, and it hits any tribal piece you want. It's like a Mirage Mirror, but way better in tribal strategies. A+ from me. Fortunate Few is 3 of anything and 2 white for a sorcery. Choose a non-land permanent you don't control. Then each other player chooses a non-land permanent they don't control that hasn't been chosen this way. Destroy all other non-land permanents. Ha! Fortunate Few might be one of the more humorous cards we've seen so far. I can't wait to see what's left after everyone chooses the crappiest cards on the table. Now, if you play your cards right, literally, you can pair this with something like Boros Charm to make your entire board indestructible, ensuring that you'll be just fine, while the rest of the table has to decide which scraps to keep. Big fan. I also enjoy conditional/weird board wipes like this. The set's looking whimsical as all heck and I'm digging it. Teferi's Protection is 3 mana for an instant. Until your next turn, your life total can change and you have protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Exile Teferi's Protection. Wait, we have phasing back? Holy nutter butter. Talk about the absolute epitome of protection. Phasing can be outrageously powerful. While phased out, permanents are treated as though they don't exist. They phase in before you untap during your untap step. Phasing is not exiling. Phasing legit means nothing can be done to them. They literally aren't there. Pretend they don't exist. Phase permanents don't leave the battlefield and they don't change zones. All equipment or auras attached to permanents you have phase out with said permanent. This includes counters as well. They are not exiled, they just stop existing. Oh, phasing, I miss phasing so much. And I think it's pretty clear that phasing is coming back in Dominaria, right? I mean, Teferi on a white card, phasing? Yeah, this is a thing. I'm beyond hyped, I'm getting excited all over, hold me back. Boneyard Scourge is 2 of anything and 2 black for a 4/3 zombie dragon with flying. Zombie dragons are my jam, bonus points there. Whenever a dragon you control dies while the Scourge is in your graveyard, you may pay 2 mana. If you do, return the Scourge from the graveyard to the battlefield. There might be a handful of cards in all of Magic that work better with Scion of the Ur-Dragon than this one does. This was clearly made exactly for this interaction. The Scion drops it into the graveyard, then whenever one of your dragons dies, you get the Scourge back and all of its 4/3 flying glory. Absolutely baller design here, clearly meant exactly for this deck. Since the trigger is based on dragons only, I can't imagine this will fit nearly anywhere else, but I'm okay with that. It's a nice inclusion for this deck. Bloodsworn Steward is 2 of anything and 2 red for a 4/4 Vampire Knight with flying. Commander creatures you control get +2/+2 and have haste. Well, isn't this the most straightforward commander suck-up card I've ever seen? Pretty easy to see what's going on here. Best part about this card is that it doesn't have to be in a vampire deck. It simply takes your commander, gives it a nice power toughness boost, and haste. You're going to want to pair this with a commander that has a strong attack trigger, combat damage trigger, or tap ability that you can abuse the turn it comes down. Kalia's a good start, Yidris would be hilarious, even something like Narset to get that trigger rolling. Plenty of commanders to pair this with. It's the red Bastion Protector. You know, just get a nice Boros commander or any commander with a red and white color identity, and you have a decent start at a weird creature-based Voltron build. My vote is for Gisela. Hilarious. New Blood is 2 of anything and 2 black for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast it, tap an untapped vampire you control, gain control of target creature, change the text of that creature by replacing all instances of one creature type with vampire. Oh, this is the ultimate flavor win. Ultimate flavor, win. New Blood is so immersive I can't even stand it. The card literally sires a new vampire. It does. It taps the vampire you control to actually sire, then you get a creature and it becomes a vampire. My goodness, I can't handle this level of immersion. Is it just me, or is this becoming one of the most well-designed sets we've seen in a while? I mean, seriously, this card alone has me swooning, I tell you. Disrupt Decorum is 2 of anything and 2 red for a sorcery. Goad all creatures you don't control. Hey, Goad is back. For those who don't remember, Goad is, until your next turn, those creatures attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you if able. This is actually Chaos Incarnate. Once you cast Disrupt Decorum, you've created a bloodthirsty table by force. By the time it's your turn again, the entire rest of the table will have gutted each other. Now, they are all going to hate you a lot, but since they are bound to be down a crap load of life points, or have no creatures or defense left to speak of, I think you'll be just fine. This is a game-winning spell, and funny as heck to boot, I love it. Crimson Honor Guard is 3 of anything and 2 red for a 4/5 Vampire Knight with Trample. At the beginning of each player's end step, the guard deals 4 damage to that player unless they control a commander. This has to be the most anti-Aloro card I've ever seen. It's like it was printed specifically to hate Aloro and everything he stands for. Punishing opponents for not having their commanders on the battlefield, genius design, friggin' genius. Especially against strategies with specifically expensive commanders, or commanders they aren't ready to put onto the battlefield. There are plenty of legends that either cost a lot or you don't want to play them until you have something going on the field. One of my favorite cards in the set so far, hilarious. Kindred Charge is 4 of anything and 2 red for a sorcery. Choose a creature type. For each creature you control of the chosen type, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, tribal cards are just getting absurd. I know this is a tribal set, I get it, but come on. Kindred Charge is going to take your already powerful tribal board position, double it up, and give everything haste? Come on, how is that fair? Imagine this in a dragon deck, or a goblin deck, or an elemental deck, or a vampire deck. If you can double up on everything, including lords, and you can't make a serious dent in your game, then something is real wrong, because Kindred Charge is one of the few 6-mana red sorceries I actually want to play in Commander, just saying. Kasali Slingers is 5 mana for a 3/5 cat warrior with reach. Whenever it or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Holy crap, this thing's crazy! As already pointed out by many, this is basically Aura Shards but feline specific, and considering Aura Shards is almost $20 at this point, I'll take the Slingers all day. With the amount of cat production we already have available to us, even just with standard cards, there's enough there to kill basically any artifact or enchantment giving you issues. And beyond that, it's a 3/5 with reach, so it can block like a brick wall with spikes. Big fan of this card, powerful anti-artifact / enchantment tech. Edgar friggin' Markov is 3 of anything, 1 red, 1 white, and 1 black for a 4/4 legendary creature Vampire Knight with First Strike, Haste, and Eminence. Whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire token. Whenever Edgar attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. Sure, Edgar, why not? Why not just be the best vampire-producing engine that's ever existed? No problem, man. That Eminence ability, you just get a 1/1 vampire whenever you cast a vampire spell. You just do. That is now law in your games. And not only that, and not only does Edgar himself have First Strike and Haste so he can attack right away, but when he does attack right away, he anthems all your vampires. All those 1/1s you've been creating, they're now 2/2s, and heaven forbid Edgar survives and gets to do it again. This gets out of control so fast. Straightforward, maybe, but Edgar is exactly the type of card he's supposed to be. Creates a disturbing amount of vampires and makes them all huge. We're talking about a tribe that runs crazy crap like Stromkirk Condemned, Ascendant Evankar, Bloodline Keeper. You really think these 1/1 vampire tokens won't get out of hand? Edgar, you crazy dog. You straight nuts. Lycia Sanguine Tribune is 5 of anything, 1 red, 1 white, and 1 black for a 4/4 legendary creature vampire soldier with First Strike and lifelink. Lycia costs 1 less to cast for each 1 life you gain this turn. You can also pay 5 life and put 3 +1/+1 counters on Lycia. Activate this ability only on your turn and only once each turn. Okay, this is straight insane. Cost reduction in general is good, but on a commander, it's real good. And this cost reduction isn't difficult to synergize with. I mean, it's just gaining life, in a deck that runs both white and black. Lycia may not seem that exciting at first glance, but being able to cast this Vampire Soldier for 3 mana is beyond strong, and it comes with combat keywords, and while you can only activate that counter ability on your turn and only once per turn, it'll only take 2 of your turns to make it a 10/10, and I'm not exactly worried about the life payment. The part of this card that makes it strong is that first cost reduction ability. There's no way around the value there. Resiliency, efficiency. Lycia makes a solid Marduk commander in any kind of life gain shenanigans shell you're trying to run, even something Voltron related. Just stack a ton of crap on it and swing for commander damage lethal. So good. Mathas Fiend Seeker is 1 red, 1 white, and 1 black for a 3/3 legendary creature vampire with menace. At the beginning of your end step, put a bounty counter on target creature an opponent controls. For as long as that creature has a bounty counter on it, it has. When this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. Everyone, I think I'm done. Mathas is amazing. The set's amazing. Magic the Gathering is amazing. Bounty counters? The best part about this card is that those counters are on those creatures even after Mathas dies, so everyone is getting that value. What a way to entice players to kill each other's creatures. Kill something, you get 2 life in a card. Now, it does suck that it isn't just you that gets stuff, but then why would your opponents go out of their way to kill what you don't like? Doesn't work that way. Mathas is another genius design. I feel like a broken record, but it's true. So cheap, comes with a lot of potential built in. I need some oxygen. This is getting absurd. We also have a new funny as heck cycle of curses that hit an opponent super hard. Let's look at Curse of Vitality first. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, you gain 2 life. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. So basically what you're trying to do is get the rest of the table to gang up on one person by giving them incentive. Like, oh hey, see Billy over there? Attack Billy, you'll get stuff. Let's look at the rest of the cycle. Curse of Verbosity draws a card for everyone attacking Billy. Curse of Disturbance gives everyone a 2/2 for attacking Billy. Curse of Opulence gives everyone a gold token whenever they attack Billy. And Curse of Bounty lets everyone who attacks Billy untap all their non-land permanents. These are so well designed. I think they're going to be super fun to play with. And that poor guy in the artwork, what bad luck he has. That's Billy for you. Getting into all sorts of trouble. Dang it, Billy. I mean, does anything else even need to be said? Commander 2017 is easily one of the best designed sets we've seen in a long time. If these cards don't excite you, I have absolutely no idea what will. I honestly don't. The Vampire deck alone is totally ridiculous. So what are your thoughts? I need to know what you're thinking. Please comment down below. I need someone to talk to because all the hype is starting to rattle around in my brain and it's giving me a headache. Also, for the love of everything, click the first link in the description and enter the giveaway for a free box of Hour Devastation. All you have to do is be subscribed. That's it. So easy. Don't be lazy. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. At this point, I don't even have to sell Commander 2017 to you because the set sells itself. You can get the entire set, all 4 decks, for $120 right now, but I can't imagine this price will last long given the hype around the set. So click the link on the screen if you want all 4 decks for $30 each. Great deal, reliable sellers, helps the channel. Enjoy.